and let my blunders fly, and you guys spot them and laugh at me. Okay. All right. All right. So this is okay. I'm going a little bit back. This is the Tarrasch line against the French. Now, back in the around World War I, Dr. Siegbert Tarrasch played this match with German master Jacques Mises, and I think Tarrasch won the match, but Mises, back in '72, one book I was reading a lot was Tarrasch's Best Games, and I came across this match, and Mises liked to play this line, exchanging on e4, and the comments, both players had a conflicting view of this position. Tarrasch thought Black's third move was a mistake because it surrendered the center, but Mises thought it was a great move because it gave activity to his pieces. And the author said these conflicting views should make for some interesting chess. Okay, now best I can remember. If you have the book, look it up. I know Tarrasch won several quick games against this line. This is not a bad line at all for Black. See, one of the keys, and where they get the freedom for the pieces, one of the keys here is this French bishop has a way out. You know, this D pawn is gone. This bishop is going to fianchetto, okay? And it's going to have a nice long diagonal. So let's see how these guys do this. Well, usually you don't go there. Let me give you some sample ideas. Okay, these lines aren't forced. Now, like for instance here. Let's see. I want to show you a little trap. Not yet. Let's see. Let's just put this here. Okay, in this position, this is a blunder.
Check.
Because white gets a fork. We're attacking this and we're attacking this. I may have not done this accurately. D4 may have been hanging, but I wanted to show you this little pitfall here. Okay, so let's see. Let's back this up. See, I saw this earlier. I said, well, it's not hanging because of this. And Black cries because he's losing his queen. This doesn't even defend it. Okay. So, you know, white needs to stop and protect that pawn one way or the other. But, you know, but Black's objective, let's avoid the trap. Whoops, Black to play. Let's go here. I'm just going to give you some ideas of what to do here. See, we want this bishop fianchettoed. And maybe this comes here. So Black's idea is to play, at some point, to try to play for one of these breaks. And white may get a queenside pawn majority. But those are, when I was learning chess in the 60s, there was a great deal to be said about the queenside pawn majority. I mentioned this in another broadcast. Sherezhevsky, brilliant author, in his book In-Game Strategy, he has a whole chapter on the 3-2 majority, and he claims it's not all it's cracked up to be. So there's some good study material. Okay, but you see here, it looks like Mises has been proven right, in my opinion. What did he say? I said he liked this idea because it gave freedom to his pieces. And, you know, look at those nice bishops. Well, white has nice bishops too, but Black certainly does. Okay. And I wouldn't say so much in this line that black has surrendered the center. So it's an even game. I mean, white can create threats. You know, rook here threatens a discovery, and you know we can get out of that trouble. Anyway, let's look at how the game went. Okay. So black's finally going to develop his queenside pieces. He does get the bishop on the diagonal. I don't think this was the right way to do it. Now, I shouldn't take, but this is going to force some exchanges. So there's a whole lot of trading going on. When you trade too many pieces like this too quickly, it tends to lead to draws. So I guess white's happy to trade pieces because he's got a 150-point rating disadvantage. Could black have avoided any of this? Yeah, don't make this trade. So I think it'd been better for black to just castle here. Okay, you know, white can still trade
Check.
up to 2 minor pieces if he really wants, but black has to like this because he has the double pawn. I mean, the 2 bishops. Okay. So we'll call this game dead even. Safer to castle king side. This is trying to create some kind of an imbalance. Black doesn't want to draw. You know, if we're 150 points above our opponent, well, sometimes we're glad to take a draw, but we don't want to play for a draw, okay? So this does open up the opportunity for both sides to get the proverbial pawn storms running, right? Okay, so let's see what happens. Well, that's not the best way to start a pawn storm. We're just going up 1 square, but you know, we still have a couple other guys that can run. And now black maybe is trying to get this knight to this square, induce a weakness in white's position. Okay, so we have a threat. That's a good move. You make a threat, usually a good move. And here comes black's pawn storm. So what should white do? He's about to get attacked. Well, the answer is he should start attacking. There you go. He did lose the tempo with it. And now, interesting, very interesting position. Takes. Let's put the rook here and try to swing him over here. Let's see if he takes. I don't know if taking is the best, but I'm just looking at this line first. Let's see what he did. Okay, I'm sure that's a good move, but this is what I was looking at. Now we leave the pawn there as one of our own. Hey, let's go threaten checkmate. Well, it's actually not a checkmate, but we're certainly a nuisance here, right? Now we've got induced a weakness. Let's go threaten to win a pawn. Let's go create another weakness. Now, white has given up a pawn here, which he can get back in the ending. And now he's going to do this move and say, let's trade queens. I want to trade queens so that I can hold a draw. If you don't trade queens, I'm going to checkmate you. And that's the only move I can see that, well, it still trades queens. None of this is forced. We're just analyzing, right? So takes. And white's down a pawn, but black has a couple of pawns that are about to fall. Maybe white can get a draw this way. But, you know, this forces this, right? And we need to move the rook, right? Now, maybe we run into trouble like the last game, right? Maybe this queen, oh, look at this, we can do this. Okay, now this rook has lateral defense. So it's just an idea. But what's key here? What's key about this game? Aside from the position, what's key about this game is the clock. black has taken his time and set something up. So, but look at white. He has 4 more minutes on his clock than when he started. Now, I'm sure knight e5 is a good move. I don't see anything wrong with it. And black still has to deal with his knight. But it's time to slow down. Now, white feels the heat on, instead of trying to, or black feels the heat, instead of trying to continue his attack, he plays a little defense. I wouldn't have come all that way back. I would have gone to a5 or b3 or even b5. I guess he wanted to save his pawn. Here comes the attack. And they're both getting their attack ready. Uh-oh. Oh, he has d3. I thought it was trapped. So, you know, and black, I'm happy to say black has slowed down, but white's starting, I wasn't watching white's clock. White's starting to run low. But look at black. 4 minutes, 5 minutes. And, you know, he's ticking down. But he's still got plenty of time. So here's another key strategy when you're playing a game. Okay, if you get up this much time, you know, white could sit here for 25 minutes and still have as much time on his clock as black does. So maybe it's a good idea to sit for 25 minutes. But it's certainly not a good idea to move fast, okay? So white's doing fine. It's a very interesting game. It's you know, black caused this when he castled queenside. Okay. If he castles kingside, we don't see these pawn storms. So keep that in mind when you want opposite castle. You made this happen. Now, does he need to retreat? See, this move could be met by this. I mean, it still could be, but you know, this knight here looks pretty fun. Looks like fun for black or for white. Well, you know, you don't have to do that, but you know, now this rook's in the way of the queen trying to come back. You know, white's kind of tripping over himself a little bit, but you know, it's certainly an interesting game. You know, right now only the rook and 2 pawns are helping out over on the king side. The queen and rook haven't come over yet. And black says, I don't want to attack your king. So right now I'm going to say white, the lower rated, has the better game. Can he keep it? Yeah, you want to do this. Well, that's good too. You know, if black advances any of these pawns, there's going to be open lines in front of that black king. Okay, now we have to deal with this. So where do we want to go? E3, you see, we consider each of these squares with the idea of, which way are we going to get across? Okay, so you'd have to stop and figure this out. Now, obviously, white has a piece blocking each one of those routes for that rook to get to the queen side. Well, you're going to move one next. Okay, so maybe, you know, maybe here, because you know this is coming. Of course, this will come. Let's see what he did. Okay, this is fine. And that was coming. Now it's time for this. Very good. Now I think unless you want to lose the exchange, you got to go here. All right. Now, who's better here? I think white is, but black has his army over there to help out. But you know, one thing, like we saw in the last game, the white had a king attack the black king, and he didn't have any defenders. Here, black has defenders, but where's black's attack? That's the whole idea of opposite side castling. So, how does white continue here? If you shove the a pawn, this is coming up here, and maybe the attack's broken. So I think the key is to go here and here, even if it means giving up a pawn. We got to open up some lines. And this is the ideal defense. Don't move those pawns. Moving any of those pawns is going to let white crash through. Just like white should not be moving any of these pawns. Okay, let's see what happened. Okay, so on this, maybe there's some tricks with this check, takes, and then we see this file open up, although these guys are over here. Oh, look at that. I didn't even see it. I missed it. Black missed it. White found it. That would be an oops. What's Black do here? Did he resign? Did he keep playing? No, he's going to keep playing. Okay, so let's back this up. I don't know I'm assuming White wins this, but we don't know yet. If this is truly a blunder, what should Black do? Well, as I said, he's got well, I've already talked about some of it. He's got his defenders over here, and he shouldn't move these pawns. But probably well, you can't do that. You want to do that, but you can't do it. So maybe we have to move the queen in order to do that. But I don't know. Can't go to G7 because knight E6 is a nuisance. Can't go to F8 because knight E6 is a nuisance. Let's try this. Now here the idea is Black would like to play this, right? So because that's what he was trying to do. Well, here's a weird idea. Watch this. Let's see if this works. Let's bait the fork. Oh no, we don't have this check. I was thinking we had this check. If we had this check, it's tricky. Pawn takes, and checkmate. But of course, he doesn't have to take the knight. Anyway, I just wondered what was out of it. Okay, so we can't go to G7. We're going to go here. Now, White to play. Maybe there's something with this. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, this probably can't be bad. It gains a tempo, and you know, we're ready to do this and this. So it was still a fight. But here, you know, and then he found it rather quickly, which is good. Okay, his clock went up 30. It took him 9 seconds to find it. He found it quicker than I did. Okay, now White just has to consolidate his position. Now, queen here might be playable. If F5, you can snatch this. Okay, went there. Yeah. Okay, so I've talked about this before. Let's review this. This concept I'm going to give you. When you're up, not pawns, but when you're up material, like a piece for a pawn or two, or the exchange, or even a piece, what do you want? How do you want to win this game? Well, we know that if we trade queens and rooks, that the king plus knight versus king ending is an easy win for White. We also know that there's no way Black is going to let us get that if he can help it. Okay. So the winning strategy is this. We know that trading down will win, but our opponent's not going to let us. So let's do this. Let's try to get a checkmate first. If we get a checkmate, that ends the game. If we can't get a checkmate, maybe we can win some more material, which also means maybe we'll still get our checkmate. And if we don't get our checkmate, if we do trade down, if the game, you know, the ending could happen because he might have to trade pieces to avoid getting checkmated, and then our win is even easier. So this move doesn't play for a checkmate, but it's a natural move to play because it does get the queens off, and you know, Black is kind of, you know, see, his rook only has one square. Now, Black does not have to trade queens, right? He shouldn't trade queens. You know, his rook is stuck, nowhere to go. But it does prevent this because we just take this. And now we've used our extra material to win more material, and we're still playing for checkmate. So black will have to find a new place to put his queen. Where do you want to put it? Let's put it here, just in case somehow, by some miracle, this square opens up and we get a back rank checkmate. Well, like I say, if by some miracle. Let's go here. And if you move the rook along here, this is coming. So let's come up here. That is designed to slow this down. But let's just go back and do this. You know, black doesn't, you know, white's playing for checkmate here. Well, that's just a sample. Let's see. Now, this starts to open black up a little bit. This is good for white. So just take it. He's ready to win a pawn. And he wants to chase the rook. Well, that might be a good move. You might be winning this. Oh, look at that. Free rook. So white's going to go a rook up. So let's go for the checkmate. Let's take this and open up some lines. Make sure we don't get back rank mated here, right? Okay, black might play this, and we can't take without giving our rook back. No, we can take if we're on the queen. Okay, so let's open up some lines. Your rooks need lines. He doesn't want open lines. There you go. Very good. Okay, now, we have an extra rook. How can we get a checkmate? Well, we can throw a check and then put the queen on the file and see what happens. Well, we can put the queen on the file and offer a queen trade. Okay, well, the queen trade is always fine. But, you know, like I say, try for the checkmate. Let's see. Was I close?
Check.
Okay, if black doesn't want to trade, and now we'll go here. We're avoiding a queen trade. Remember, we're trying for checkmate. Now, we don't have a checkmate yet, but we have our rook safe. And if this rook runs over here or here, queen down to d8 would be checkmate. Okay. He doesn't now we have this check.
Check.
And we have this check. He goes here. He wants a queen trade. Okay, you want a queen trade. He doesn't. I told you he doesn't. So the main thing is we got to make sure we don't get this back rank mate. We have an extra rook. We have pawns we can push up the board to help out.
Check.
He wants a queen trade. Oh well, he got his queen trade. And now those pawns are about ready to fall. Now watch your back rank. Safe. Thank you for clearing my back rank. Well, this is a great game by white.
Check. Check.
Wow. Well, hey, upset. Good job. Why did black lose this? You know, he didn't follow. He started his kingside attack and he abandoned it. He played too much defense. That was a terrific game by white. I was impressed. You know, and I'm not criticizing the queen trade. I mean, when I was first playing, I was terrified of queens because what they could do to me is when I realized that what I could do to him with my queen, that I stopped doing it. Okay, so I'm going to stop this recording. I'm going to take